Well, speaking of leadership, James, and I agree with you that whatever anyone thinks about net zero, you've got to give One Nation this. You've been consistent the entire time. Pauline Hanson certainly speaks from conviction. But Linda, I think whatever Susan Lee does, I don't know that anyone will believe that she's really convinced. And it's not just on net zero. I remember when she gave her first speech at the press club, she talked about the need to get more women into the Liberal Party, but then said she was agnostic, not really sure one way or another about quotas. So I feel like she seems to have this problem where you can't quite pin down what she really believes. She's more about consensus and taking the temperature of the room and getting working groups. This is, I think, going to be a problem whatever way the chips fall on net zero.
Look, sadly, it could be any day of the week, but today of all days on Remembrance Day, when the Liberal Party has yet again not spoken about the contribution of veterans, the incredible historic significance of this day, not just for Remembrance Day, it's obviously also the 50th anniversary of one of the most significant political events in this country, the unjust sacking of Prime Minister Gough Whitlam, and yet all
Why
the
don't
Liberal
you want to
Party
have this
can
debate
do
on net
again
zero,
and
Linda?
again and again is talking
Deflect.
about themselves and their own internal fight. James, I think it's disappointing to hear you continuing with this very unscientific line that we should, pull out of international agreements that we've already committed to. It's very disappointing to hear you persist with these untruths about the fact that this form of moving to renewable energy is somehow anything other than the cheapest, most effective, most science evidence-based way to power Australia moving forward. But yet here we are with One Nation and the Nationals and the Liberals all united in their disagreement about the cheapest, best way to move forward on energy policy, something that almost every other nation in the world, something Australia signed up to under a conservative agreement, the Paris Accord, and yet here we are, the One Nation, National Party and Liberal Party trying to align themselves together.
James, we were promised cheaper electricity bills by Linda's Labor Party under Albanese, and it's never been delivered.
And we've got Chris Bowen saying that Australians can get 3 hours of free power.
They've got to put in 10,000 kilometres worth of more high transmission voltage power lines. They used to be $2 million a kilometre, mate. They're now $12 to $14 million a kilometre. This is where people's power bills are going up because someone's got to pay for it. And it's all wonderful. I love solar. I've got it on my rooftop. But to go and put them 5,000 kilometres in the middle of nowhere and then have to run these new high transmission power lines to get this power back to the city folk, it's just unachievable. And we're destroying prime agricultural land in the process. We're putting wind turbines all over our picturesque scenery. And, yeah, Linda lives in the city, so she doesn't quite understand this. But for people like me who live with a beautiful bush setting behind me, I don't want it demolished. I don't want it demolished for the sake of solar power panels that have a very, very short life. I don't want the treetops demolished for the sake of your wind turbines because it's killing koalas, and Labor themselves have admitted that the best practice when they see a koala fall out of the tree is go and club it to death. This is the nonsense that you and the Greens are putting in the minds of kids to say it's okay to go and trash the environment for your solar panels, but in the same breath, a farmer can't clear so that he can feed the rest of the world. It's just silly. I don't get you.